Let's get to the money.
Let's get to the
Money.
Let's get to the
Money. Let's get to the motherfucking money.
Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in your ass screaming fuck the bookies. Woke up in the morning, grab my little black book. Yesterday can eat a dick, cause we lost by the hook. Can't win them all, so you never see me get shook. Today's a new day, the bookmaker's getting cooked. When I spot a dirty K of 4 units getting played, always find the value, I would never be afraid. Scary money don't win, but I'm not going all in unless I see a bet I love, then I put my balls on a bookie's chin. Let it all soak in, doubling my bread, winning money with my friends. If you got the itch and you wanna go big, follow Sharpie bets and you gon' really fucking win. This is not financial advice, it's entertainment. But if I find the right price, believe I'm parlaying it. You can see my spreadsheet, I'm winning, not just saying it. Profit in the green every week, I'm never negative. I can bet an ace or a shitty old picture. Pick the right spots cause I'm the K-pop whisperer. Shut up when I speak until you finally get the picture. I'm the best in the world, tell me you getting richer. Fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, 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 fuck the bookies. FTV screaming fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies, fuck the bookies. Middle finger in the ass screaming fuck the bookies.
Let's get to the motherfucking monies.
I could scream what they were just screaming, but I'm not gonna let YouTube kick me off. Welcome to the Balking Dead Season 2, where there is no sleep for the wicked. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Tuesday, so you know we bring in the only guy I speak K-props with, Spin Doctor Sports himself. How you doing, and are you ready to rock? Big card?
I'm ready to
bounce
roll.
back. I need a fucking bounce back.
I'm ready to roll. I've been in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean for the last few days. The internet connection sucked. I couldn't go as deep as I wanted to on some of the metrics. I have my full complement of tools today. Let's go. Let's do it.
I know you were hitting me up like, hey, did you watch the Woodruff game? I'm in the middle of the fucking ocean. I'm like, bro, yeah, easy under. But let's get to it. We got a lot to talk about. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS on your first deposit. They will match you up to 100, minimum of 25. We're getting to the numbers I look for, fellas, and I'm about to get real selective and win on what I take my shots with. I will give you all the information you need to finalize your own bets or the reasons why I'm staying off. So enough small talk. Let's get to it. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate y'all for coming. Shout out to the best producer in the world, Big Show Picks. Y'all know the drill. Hit that like. Hit the retweet on my page if you want, and make sure you have them notification bells on. Today, guys, we have our first 2 Dirty Ks of the year, meaning we have enough plate appearances to start talking to the book, and when the book talks back, I listen. When I use the words Dirty K, it should be a nice, smooth sailing win with no hiccups. I'm expecting the man to go deep into the games, and the numbers are there to match it. So let's talk baseball. On this show, we use FanDuel lines because they tend to come out first, and then we compare them to what PrizePicks has to offer. Let's get into pitcher number 1, guys. And we've got aces on aces on aces, meaning 5 of these 6 pitchers we're here to talk about. And if we get to the end with plenty of time or any time left, let us know in the chat any other K-props you want us to touch that we're not touching on, and we'll get to it at the end of the show. So let's talk number 79, the second newest member to the Black Book, Grayson Rodriguez. Guys, it's his second start in the MLB. His lone year in AAA, he had a 35.8 K percentage with a 7.7 walk percentage. Opening line last night, 5+ minus 144. Closing line 30 minutes before the show was at a 5+ at a minus 152. PrizePicks does have him at a 5, so I wouldn't even want him on a PrizePicks because you're getting a push at 5. You're going to need the 6. So if you like Grayson Rodriguez, look towards the books. His hits allowed or earns allowed was not available. This is his second start in the bigs. one game in the minors this year, throwing 83 pitches last week versus Texas. So I got to think he's good to go for 90 if no hiccups. No need to hit this man's averages. Like I said, this is his second MLB start of his young career. Spin. What you got for these fellas before I poison them with the guy I like?
Oh, I love. You don't need to poison nothing, man. I like this kid. 5 pitches that he throws on the regular. Last 2, not as much. The 4-seam fastball, love the velo he can get up to. He can hit 90s. I mean, he averages 96.5, but this kid can throw fucking flames. I mean, he can get up 98, 99 on the gun. His slider, man, that is a wipeout pitch in the making. It already kind of is, but that slider has already so far, and I'll be in limited action so far this year, a 50% whiff rate. I know it's only one start, but my goodness, a kid like that, hey, the way that thing moves, even once you get scouting reports on this kid, that thing is still going to be hard to hit. What I love the most about Rodriguez as well is that his 4-seam fastball runs up and in the 1 to 2 range. If you're looking at a clock, the slider runs away, like way away in the 10 to 8 range. And what I also love is how he can change speeds on that shit, because his changeup, 83.8 miles per hour average, the slider 82.7, fastball 96.5. Guys, when you have a pitcher, especially a young guy like this, that can crank up the velo, but can have a slider that is 15 to 16 miles an hour under your fastball average and tails away like that, and if you ever watch film on this kid, the slider comes in looking like the changeup. So this kid can fool hitters even when MLB scouts get his stats, get his scouting, get his film. That slider comes in looking like a changeup, tails away like that. When you can jam hitters inside, you can go outside with an off speed. There is a ton to like about this kid. So like I said, Sharpie, you don't need to poison me on shit. I love this kid. And if you are going to play his K-prop, it is over or nothing.
I'm over here actually checking it up, man, and this guy already went up a strikeout. Literally 30 minutes ago, I put in the closing lines. He's already jumped to 5.5. So let's talk about Grayson Rodriguez, drafted out of high school, 11th overall in the 2018 draft out of Texas. Top 3 pitching prospect in all of baseball. We made us some money off him last week. And last night, guys, like I said, we've got numbers now. We've got books. I've got to do what I do best. And I set my lines. We set my lines before they come out. And I'll put the juice on what I'm willing to pay on the guy. And I set it at 4.5, knew I was going to get a 4.5. I wasn't willing to pay more than -115. I'd probably go up to -120, but they opened them up at a -144. And I'm not just paying up when there's not enough plate appearances for me to go by the numbers. And this is strictly not just this. This is not numbers. This is strictly going off of Grayson Rodriguez and the Oakland A's sucking. So I get it. And if they load up 4 lefties, you may see me on like a Grayson Rodriguez at 7 strikeouts at some +2, 250 type, because they've already moved them up to 5.5 now at even money, guys. So we probably missed out on jumping up on him if you wanted to take him. But earlier, that was the only way I was going to look at Grayson Rodriguez, was taking him at 6 at near that +200, which is gone now because everybody's been betting Grayson Rodriguez today, guys. So if they load up 4 lefties, like he said, that slider is going to destroy the left-handed side. So good luck with that. I just wasn't willing paying -144 on him. And I'm not going to them chase another number, 5.5 at even money, because it's gone up. That's not the way I bet. So if you've got the guy going 6 innings, he should easily have 7 strikeouts versus this team by the math. And the guy should go 90 pitches if cruising. And this Oakland A's team is nothing to speak about, guys. Crazy to say this, I think it's a sneaky first 5 under. And Moeller has surprised me the other side of this, guys. And he did make my way into the book, guys. You do what you did versus Cleveland, who don't strike out versus lefties, and you go put up 5 punchies and you go 5-6 innings. I'm going to look at you. The Angels are the Angels. They're going to be hot. They're going to be cold. He dominated them. Strikeouts weren't there. Cool. But then to get those type of strikeouts and pitch well versus a Cleveland team, you done got my number, bro. At the end of the day, I knew I was going to get a 4.5 with Mueller. The juice was just too high. The juice has been coming back down on Mueller. And if I can get Mueller around that 125, 120 range, then I will pull the trigger. There isn't a lot, like enough numbers, plate appearances that I like to go by, but there is enough showing that this team is swinging and missing versus lefties, even though they're crushing the dog shit out of them. So, yeah, lefty on lefty, baby. Let's get it. Pitcher number 2. Pitcher in the black book, number 16, Aaron Nola, a.k.a. Nola. 2022, he had a 29.8 K percentage with a 5.2 walk percentage. Opening line 7+ -104. Closing line 7+ -118. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5, and his hits allowed and earned runs allowed were not available. Third start of the year, so no need to talk tags. Last 8-game strikeout average is at a 7.1. But if you go off of just these last 2 starts, he ain't hit 7. So we're getting a good little look with Nola, I think. Win percentage to the under over 6.5 last 10 games is at 60%. Projected lineup, 7 righties, 2 lefties. K per 9, 2022 at home. He had a 12.3 where he's at today. On the road, he had a 10.3. Lefties, he had a 9.8 K per 9 versus. Righties, he had a 10.8. Batting average against in 22. Lefties hit 200. Righties hit 237. At home, a 211. While on the road, 227 batting average against. Spin Doctor, speak to these fellas about my candy cane.
All right. Here's what I would tell you about Aaron Nola today. And it's a very, very simple question. And there is only one correct answer, is that with the Florida, with the Miami, I said, let's say Florida Marlins, with the Miami Marlins, okay, who are striking out already this year at 27.3% against right-handed pitchers. And Nola against the projected lineup has a strikeout percentage of 28.4%. And at home against righties, a 30.7% K percentage. You add all those things up. Do you have the balls to take an under at 6.5? I sure as hell do not. So this is another one that's over or nothing for me. The Marlins swing metrics have just been absolutely god-awful, atrocious. They rank damn near last in outside the zone swing and outside the zone contact, which is a little bit strange because they traded for Luis Arraez. They traded for a guy in the order who never strikes out, under 10%, makes high contact, and they are still just hacking wildly at shit. What that tells me is that if you look at the metrics, Arraez is doing his job, and he's just being Luis Arraez. The rest of them, especially the bottom 4 guys, typically in their order, just effing suck. They swing at shit out of the strike zone. They go down in counts. They have no idea how to work a pitch count. I was updating. This is just a little bit aside. I was updating my guys today on a preseason futures that I gave for pretty heavy, which was the Marlins under 76.5 wins. That looks like it's going to cash so easily this year. This team is not good, and the closer or the further we go, they're not going to get any better. So, but I just can't say enough bad things about the last 4 in their lineup. And so that's a place where Nola very easily across this start could rack up 5Ks right there. So this is for sure over or nothing. There is no part of me that wants to even try to take an under on the Marlins right now.
Like you guys, if you guys don't know, me and Spin Doctor, we talk every morning. We don't really talk like you might think. We just spit, hey, I'm on this, or hey, I'm on that, or any reason to stay off this. It's not like, hey, what are you on so I can tail it type shit. No, we break down stuff differently. And then on the days that we do the show, we do not talk to each other in the morning about these props because we want good content. Like, what if this guy was on the under? Like, my heart was about to fucking drop when he started talking. I was like, you're really going to fucking go under after reading all that shit off right there, bro? All right. No. I was like, oh, fucking right. Looks like we're going to be head-to-head today. But we're not, guys. It's Candy Cane Day, fellas. And this, to me, is my best bet of the day. It's the first of the 2 dirty Ks. We get into Nola at home, where over the past 2 years, his K per 9 has been 2+ higher than on the road. Coincidence? I think not. We got our candy cane uniforms on today, guys. And if you know, you know. I preach speaking I mean, listening to baseball games on the radio, you're going to pick up more information than you'll ever pick up from any handicapping show, unless it's this one. But shout out to Oral Hershiser, because I listen to Dodger games, guys, a lot on the radio, and that's my radio announcer. And he told me about the candy canes one day, and if you notice, a lot of Phillies at home, their strikeouts go up. Well, last year, they tended to come down a little bit. And why was that? Because they wore a blue uniform on Fridays. Yeah, had to write that in my freaking books. Well, guess what? This year, Zach Wheeler pitched on a Friday. No blue uniform. So it's Tuesday. We shouldn't have to worry about it. Candy canes are coming. And what I mean, guys, is a baseball is white with red seams. What the fuck color is the Phillies home's jerseys, guys? Like, it's hard to pick up the spin on a baseball. It's no coincidence that Nola is that dominant at home. Not saying he is not dominant on the road. This guy's right here is one of the teams with over 300 plate appearances, so the numbers are there, and man, are the Marlins bad. Like he just said, they're striking out at a smooth 27.3 K percentage and hitting below league average. Nola played the Marlins 3 times last year, averaging 7.1 innings, 0.75 earned runs with 8.7 strikeouts a game. And to boot, if we run it through the book, when Nola faced a team with a 24% K percentage or worse last year, he was 7-0 to the over strikeouts, with 6 of those games having 8 or more. We have us a nice 27% strikeout percentage right here, guys. So count me in on Nola, and let's Nola to the bank. Yeah. Pitcher number 3, Shane McClanahan, number 15 in the book. K percentage last season was 30.6 with a elite 4.2 walk percentage. Morning line last night, or this morning, it's morning line, 6+ at a -154. It has now been hit to a -174 at that number, so 7+ is at +120. PrizePicks has him at a smooth 6. Earned runs allowed under over 1.5 on PrizePicks. Third start of the year, no need to talk tags. Last 8 game strikeouts per game is at a 5.9. His win percentage to the under over 5.5 last 10 games was 70%. -154 matches that 70% to me. Now, this to me right here is what blows my mind. It's projected lineups, 5 righties and 4 lefties. And are you really going to bat 4 lefties versus Shane McDaddy-o? Because if so, then I still might look at that 7+. It's some plus money, but let's talk about it. Strikeout K per 9 in 2022. Home, he averaged a 10.9, on the road at 10 K per 9. Lefties, 9.3 K per 9, but it was very, very minimal action right there, guys, and a 10.7 versus righties. Batting average against 2002. Lefties hit 204, righties hit $192. Home road was freaking elite, fantastic. You think it would be better in Rays and Tropicana Park? No, just cool 209 at home, and on the road a $167, guys, batting average against. This dude is the man. I would have put some Cy Young futures on him, but he hasn't pitched a full season. So until you do that, then I can't risk my money on a guy. And they weren't even trying to give you value on McDaddy-o. So what do you got on Shane McClanahan before I give them my info?
Yeah. So with Shane, I was on his over his last start at Washington. It was we were. Yep. So 5.5 juiced, hit it just very, 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 very much at the end there. And, you know, when you break down McClanahan's start, because I did see some stuff about how, you know, he didn't look as dominant as he has been. Like, you go into his metrics and you look at his spin, you look at his velo on all of his pitches. It's right down the middle. It's right on the line. It's right on the money from last year. His fastball, he got it up over 100 against Washington. It still averaged 97.6. How the hell can you say he didn't look right? Like, he didn't look like the same pitcher. I'm like, what the hell does he need to throw? Like 130? I mean, come on. So he looked just fine. The Nationals, surprisingly, this year have actually been better at not striking out against lefties than righty, far better against lefties than righties. But when I look at McClanahan, this is one to me where, you know, the only thing that gives me pause, especially with an over 5.5 juiced here, is against this projected lineup. 56 plate appearances. That's not usually the exact number I want to see to start saying, like, okay, this this will tell me a trend. But 11 for 56 for only a 19.6 K percentage. So far this year, he has been a little wild, little out there with walks, 39th percentile walk rate. But and we also have a hitter's umpire behind the plate. Paul Emmel, strikeout percentage for pitchers in games he's umped, 19.8%, which is significantly under the MLB average for umpires, which is about 20.5%. His walk rating is also slightly above average as well at 8.2. So this is a pass for me. I think that if you're going to play this one, especially right now, because you look on DraftKings and it's at 5.5 at minus 180. I'm not paying that for a K prop. So, and the under for me with McClanahan at home just isn't an option. So I'm probably just going to punt on McClanahan.
Man, great minds think alike, but let me give you guys my opinion. We got 80 plus live, 42 likes. That don't add up to me. Smash it while I give you the information on Shane McDaddy-O. This was another game last night. I said it 5.5, guys, but I wasn't willing to pay more than minus 130 today. Normally, I'll go up to a minus 150 with McClanahan. I know I was going to call him Shane McMahon, bro. I'm still upset he left, but McClanahan played, guys. Usually I'll go up to a minus 150 with McClanahan, but I'll get into my reasons why I had to drop it to a minus 130, guys. And they popped them straight out the chute at a minus 154 last night at that 5.5. So I had to let them go. Last year, McClanahan played the Red Sox 2 times and dominated them both times, going 6 and 7 innings, averaging what he normally does, guys, a strikeout per inning. That's why I don't hate if you took the juice here. He's one of my guys I will swallow juice on, but after a game like yesterday when the ump was calling strikes in the dirt, making Fleming look like a strikeout pitcher, and then on the boot, you just heard what my guy said about the umpire today. That kind of goes in with the umpire they had yesterday. You have one guy calling a chamois game. You better come back and clean it up, guys. So McClanahan is pretty much a shoe-in to me for 6 strikeouts today if you got him going 6 innings. Last season when he was healthy, this fool had 6 strikeouts or more in 18 of his first 19 starts. The one lone coming when he didn't go 6 innings, guys. This guy is a strikeout per inning type pitcher. And we got some good news with Shane McClanahan last week. He was at 89 pitches going into the 6th inning, up by 2-3 runs, I believe, at the time, maybe even 4. They let him go back out there, guys. So they're not babying Shane McClanahan. They're letting him go, and that's always a good thing. So at the end of the day, the juice just didn't match up for the number I was willing to pay, but it's over or not because past history, what this guy is, who this man is, I just can't go under when I have him going 6 innings today. It's a long Tuesday, guys, so grab your drink, kiss your wife, and make sure them kiddos have something to do while we hit this quick commercial and get right back to the GOAT and GOAT Tani.
Turn it up.
I know I ain't the only one who plays the air guitar over there, but let's get into it. Shout out to you guys. Smash the like button and let's talk pitcher number 4 of the day. Number 1 in the black book, Jacob deGrom, a.k.a. the GOAT. 2022, he had a 42.7 K percentage with a 3.8 walk percentage. Opening line 10 plus at plus 110. Now plus 112, 9.5 on PrizePicks. Pitching outs or earned runs were not available on PrizePicks. Third start of the year, coming off of 92 pitches. So I don't really think the Rangers let him go past 92 a lot this year. So that's roughly what we can expect. with deGrom. Last 8 game strikeout averages is 9.5. I had to take out the games where he was on a pitch count. I do keep track of that in my book. I write down their pitch numbers, and a couple of those games were in the 70s. So anything 90 and above, he's averaging 9.5 strikeouts. Win percentage to the under-over last 10 games, 9.5 is 45%. So, yeah, he averages 9.5. He's hit it at 45%, and they put it at plus money. Like, yeah, it makes sense. If you like it, go for it. Let's talk about it. Projected lineups: 5 lefties, 4 righties. Strikeouts K per 9, 2022. Average 6.2 K per 9 at home, 12.4 on the road, 13.9 K per 9 versus lefties, with 14.8 versus the right-handed side. Batting average against last year, elite, like the Hardy Boys say. Lefties hit 165, righties hit $184. At home, $145, while on the road, 210. Let's talk about the GOAT, my friend.
I mean, what else is there to say other than this man is, when healthy, is the most dominant pitcher that MLB has seen in 10 years, maybe longer. He's just that good. His location is good. He runs, his velo is elite. I mean, there's just not enough time on this show to talk about all the good things that this man can do. And, you know, when I do K props, Sharpie, I know that you have the black book, and, you know, I look at some more than others, but I do try to cap every pitcher every day, at least in some fashion. There are very few hardline rules that I have. One of them, which is almost an exclusive, is there are 2 options for betting a Jacob deGrom K prop, and it's not over and under. It's over or nothing. It's over or pass. Under on a Jacob deGrom strikeout prop is simply not an option. I mean, unless you can get something absurd like 19.5 or something, you know, something just absolutely stupid. But for a normal strikeout prop line, betting an under on Jacob deGrom is literally playing with fire. Playing with fire next to a can of gasoline, next to a fucking propane tank. That's what betting an under on deGrom is. I don't care the number. It's 9.5 for a reason. So if you're going to bet this one, you have one choice and one choice only, and that is the over.
Yeah, guys. So, like I said, we get a 9.5 with the GOAT, and that's where it should be. Crazy. I know. Crazy. 9.5. I mean, the only other person that will be there soon is Spencer Strider if he keeps this shit up. Shout out to Cheshire Cat, $5 dono, my guy. Choo choo! First dono of the year. I appreciate you. So let's get into it, and let's get you guys some more money. Let's get to it, guys. I haven't pulled the trigger on that 9.5 because Haney struck out 10 Royals yesterday. I know one's a lefty and one's a righty, guys, but I've seen it just too many damn times. When a team strikes out like that, they tend to make the adjustment the next day to at least make some damn contact. But not enough in this past history of me knowing what's going to happen here. So let's talk about it. All the things that favor the GOAT are here, guys. He didn't face the Royals last season. That's a check mark to deGrom. The Royals are striking out at a 24% clip. Check mark to deGrom. The Royals faced deGrom faced 6 teams last year with a 24% clip or worse with mixed results. When I run through the book, he's 3-3 to the over, so I stayed off of him as of now. It's not final yet. Plus money is where it should be, and if he hits it, guys, next week it's going to be juice. So I may get in on this plus money right now at this 24% clip and them not seeing him yet, or I may be getting in on his pitching outs because a lot of the times he did go over that 6 inning mark when he faced the 24% clip. So, yeah, it's crazy to think the betting over on a 10, but he's going to have to strike out everyone and their mom. So if anyone has information on royal family members being at the game, let me know. We may need at least 2 mothers. So let's get into the next guy on the board. Black book number 2, Shohei Ohtani, a.k.a. GOAT Tani on this show, baby. 2022, he had a 26.9K percentage with a 6.6 walk percentage. Morning line 8 plus minus 108. Closing line 8 plus at minus 106. PrizePicks has them at a cool 7, where I love that because push, you do get your money back. And if you put it on a 3, 4, 5 pick parlay, it just pushes it down one. And 7 for Ohtani. Okay, thank you. PrizePicks pitching outs or earned runs was not available. No need to talk tags. This will be his 3rd start. Last 8 games, strikeout average is at 8. We had to take out the games where he was on a pitch count, guys. So last game of the year, he only threw 67. So that was the one game we did have to pull out to get there. Win percentage to the under over 7.5. Last 10 is at a 60%. Projected lineups 5 lefties, 4 righties. Strikeouts K per 9 in 2022. Elite. Home 12K per 9 with an 11.7 on the road, 11.7K per 9 versus lefties with a 12.1 versus righties. Batting average against in 2022, lefties hit 221 while righties hit a measly $188. At home, he had a 200 batting average against, 207 on the road. Let's talk Showtime.
I mean, I don't go as far with Shohei as I do with deGrom about it's over or nothing. I have taken unders on him in the past with varied results, but this one for me. So all my math on this one, I have Ohtani coming out at the actual bottom line numbers about 7.38, which matches very well with the 7.5 line, with a variance range, which means I go low to high based on past results, of 5.88 to 8.79. So he has a pretty low range. Other pitchers have a lot higher fluctuation in their results. So this line to me is set pretty perfectly. The only reason that I'm not actively looking at taking the over in this one at the slight plus money is, and I told, for those of you that have followed me and that have watched me on this show and others, is that I use umpires as a tiebreaker. I'm waiting to see if it's confirmed, because the umpire that's projected to be behind the plate tonight is Alfonso Marquez. Who's Alfonso Marquez? Well, he is my patron saint of unders. He is an extreme hitters umpire. Strikeout percentage under 20%. He's one of only a few active umpires that has a strikeout rating under 20%, a very, very small strike zone. Why is that important? Ohtani, first strike percentage, only 58.4%. And so when I couple those two things together, I get a little nervous, and it's not enough plus money for me to want to really, take this one to the moon. The other thing with Marquez, if he is behind the plate, is that I talked about how the MLB umpire walk percentage is about 7.8, but it's right around 8%. Marquez is up 9. And so I talk, very, very, very tiny strike zone. Probably not going to get a ton of calls, even if you are somebody like Shohei. The pitcher I love, the circumstances I'm iffy on.
Yeah, this is where we're gonna talk. It's not Showtime, it's Ohtani time, guys. And I don't get why they keep putting this man at a 7.5. Let alone not even putting juice on it. And it's not moving. Oh boy. That's the Mickey Mouse, guys. If you ain't knowing, you ain't got kids. But oh toodles, there may be a problem, guys. You may need to run from this one, guys, and let's talk about it. He is one of those guys you don't need to wait for a lineup. If you want to bet him, you bet him right when you see the better juice. He's dominant both sides of the plate, home road equally. Now, Washington only has 198 plate appearances versus righties, and that's not enough for me. So now do you think Ohtani goes 6+ innings tonight versus a mediocre at best Nationals lineup? For me, I would say, duh, but the juice is telling me they want you to bet the over, guys. And on this show, we bet averages. We don't bet what they want us to bet. That's not the way I get down, guys. That's why I make my lines. And now, is Shohei Ohtani averaging 8 strikeouts per game? Yeah, but the 60% doesn't match up to the minus 108 to me. Why are they baiting you on a guy who smashed both his K props and giving you his average at a 60% clip, and the juice is saying, please bet me, guys. I don't bet shit they ask for. I look for averages, and then I freaking tell them when they're going to do better. So there's enough for me to just stay off Shohei today, guys, at the end of the day. Now, his name is Gotani for a reasons. I don't bet unders. I'm an over better. I hate betting unders. The way I track shit doesn't work out for unders, but a lot of the times I stay off my guys, they tend not to hit. So definitely I just got to stay off. The juice is begging you to bet the over today, but he is one of those guys that will be like the Kool-Aid man for you and run through a wall if he hits his K prop. So 7.5, I get it. The juice, I don't. So it's a cool stay off, guys. I actually like the other side of this matchup, guys. Josiah Gray, real quick, but at the end of the day, I just can't back them versus these Angels who swing in the bat when they do have Rendon in the lineup. This is just a lineup that scares the living dog piss out of me right now. And yeah, also remember not to chase Ohtani home run props today. Last year, he only hit 1 home run on days that he pitched, and I get it. Do you know how hard it is to pitch? Let alone how hard it is to hit. And to do the same at both in the same fucking game, bro. Like, come on, bro. I get why his power numbers do go down. But let's talk about the last game of the day. My favorite game of the day.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
And it happens to be May Day, baby. Dustin May, number 18 in the black book, a.k.a. May Day. 2021-2022 combined K percentage was at a 30.5. Walk percentage at an 8.8. Opening line, 5+ minus 104. Closing line, 5+ minus 126. PrizePicks has him at a 6 straight, which is why I wouldn't touch him on PrizePicks today, because 5 is at a minus 126, guys. Why would you want 6 for a push? So if you're an under better, there you go. Maybe they know something. Maybe I know something. Maybe Spin Doctor knows something. That's why y'all tuning in. So smash the like if you haven't. 60 already has. And let's talk Dustin May. 3rd start of the year, so no need to talk tags. Not enough games to hit his last 8 averages, coming back from Tommy John last year. Projected lineup, 6 lefties, 3 righties. Speaketh a wise one on Dustin Mayeth.
Aside from the fact that I just absolutely love his stuff, this is a Giants team that has just been racked up strikeouts to start the season against righties, against lefties. They don't really have enough plate appearances against lefties to really make an accurate determination. But against righties so far this year, 300 plate appearances, a 26.3% strikeout percentage. So, and then also a 10.7% walk percentage. So they're seeing a lot of pitches, and their swing metrics are towards the bottom. They're not swinging the bat a ton. So where I go with that one is May so far, 62.3% first strike percentage. That's a very healthy number. Usually anything over 60, 61.5, upwards of 61.5, it's considered decent. But when you're in the 62 range, that can get you an extra strikeout or 2 here or there. On the road against lefties, May 27.7% K percentage versus only 18.8% against righties. Now, keep in mind, part of this, that's over the course of his career. It's been a little bit more balanced over the last few years. So umpires shouldn't factor into this one. The projected umpire, I should say, very, very average umpire, should not play a factor at all. So then you look at May versus this lineup. And this is another one where I'm saying if you're betting this one, you're going over here. I don't see there is, especially when I look at as of not too long ago, the over was at minus 104. I think it still is now. Oh, nope. It's actually being bet up at -1. It's now up to minus 135. So people are hitting the over on this one. I totally understand why. Giants, the Giants overall swing metrics, especially the bottom third of their order, have not been good at all this season. So this is one where if I'm betting this one, I'm betting over or I'm not betting at all.
Well. We are betting this one on this show, guys. Dustin May is Dirty K number freaking dose, guys. So smash the like, almost 100 live, and let's talk Dirty Dustin May. Yeah, we have talked about him every start, and a bad beat the first game. And we talked about how you actually want to look at a strikeout pitcher who doesn't strike out a lot the first time on a back-to-back. I didn't bet it. I leaned the over, and he actually scraped by, depending on what number you got. He hit the 5. If you were in early, you got the under 5.5. But it was 4.5 when we hit this show off, and it was over 4.5 for me or not. And I had to just pass, and he went out there and showed me a little bit, guys. And he hit the over on a back-to-back, which is saying something. Not just that, he dominated them for the second time in a row. But then that was the D-backs. And now we've got the Los Gigantes, the Giants, if you don't speak Spanish, guys. So let's talk about it. He already said they have 300 plate appearances from the right-handed side, and they're striking out at a 26.1 clip. The first 2 weeks, well, their hitting numbers, they're actually smashing the fuck out of the ball. So that's one thing that normally would want to keep me off of a game, guys, is volatility, guys. And when they're hitting top freaking 10 or even top 5 power numbers and whatnot, that's a little scary at times. But I'll preach it 100 times a day. Good pitching beats good hitting. And if you played the two righties versus these Giants who throw 97 plus with a K per 9 of 11K or better, these guys both had 8 or more strikeouts, guys. So, like I said, good pitching beats good hitting. Cease and Cole dominated this lineup, guys. May faced the Giants last season when they were striking out at a 27% clip, and May went 5 innings, 0 earned runs with 4 strikeouts. That right there, if you just looked at that, you'd be like, oh, man. Guess what, guys? I track my guys that I bet, guys, and this is one of the guys that I will write numbers on. And guess what? I lost that bet that day. It was a terrible bad beat, guys. He had 67 pitches and got pulled because they were going to restrict his innings that game without telling me. So Dustin May at the beginning of the season, we don't got to worry about that. Come All-Star break, guys, I may just have to let him go into the wind. But until then, until they want to respect Dustin freaking May, oh man, y'all fucking up now. So I got in last night, minus 104, minus 135 is now getting up there. Like I capped them at minus 130, but if you still want to get in, I get it. But I put my limit on them, and I thought maybe I'd get a 4.5 because I got back-to-back games versus the D-backs, and I was willing to unload my mortgage on that, whatever juice they were willing to give me. So, yeah, 5.5 it is, guys, minus 104 where I got in. And, yeah, all the reports are and me watching this guy, guys, he is and has the it factor and has electric stuff. To boot, guys, the Giants have been running lefty-dominant lineups versus right-handed pitchers, which feeds right into Mayday, who averages 5 Ks more per 9 over his last 2 seasons. So we getting dirty with this redheaded stepchild today. So shout out you all for tuning in. 67 likes. Smash it if you haven't. Tuesdays are for K-Props, so I appreciate my guy Spin Doctor showing up, talking these great games of baseball. Tell these fine young people where they can find you.
Absolutely, absolutely. So thanks for having me as always at SpinDoc Sports on Twitter. I have a daily free prop. We had a 4-day win streak, a 4-bet win streak in a row. Got snapped last night. Took a shot on Nick Pivetta at plus money. Didn't work out, but we will be back at it tonight. So the play that I have is typically an under. So I have there's more than a few candidates for that tonight. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, at SpinDoc Sports, as you can see it on my name there. And give me a follow, give me a like. I'd be happy to help you out with some under prop winners because there are more than a few candidates tonight.
Hey, Dan Kelly posted in the chat, Heritage has deGrom 8.5 minus 145. That would be a bet to me right there.
Agreed.
Like, yeah, I'd have to get in at that juice. Like, that's a guy I will swallow juice for. So, yeah, if you guys can get on Heritage or whatever like that, shout out to Dan Kelly for hooking us up. And then Paco backs them. Heritage has great prices, Dan. Check. So yeah, maybe something we need to look into, guys. So let's get to it, guys. Let's have us a damn Tuesday, and let's get to the money. This show is sponsored by PrizePicks, so if you haven't, go on over to PrizePicks, use promo code PubSports, and get a match deposit up to 100, minimum of 25 on your first deposit, strictly by using that promo code PubSports. Until next time, he's Spin Doctor Sports. I'm Sharpie's Bets. This show is produced by Big Show Picks and on Pub Sports Radio. We be pubbing!